YouTube, so I am super duper behind, and everybody posted like their favorites of 2016, and like I was seeing some in October, so I'm a little behind for that, but yeah, these are my favorites of 2016. Now, some people chose something from every category. I just chose things that I was definitely loving in the 2016. And not specifically like maybe there isn't one of the category. I originally did top 16 of 2016, but I left all my notes at work. So I kind of had to like put together my products that I used over and over again this year. I suck. I really suck. First and foremost, I'm going to be a basic ass YouTuber, and my favorite eyeshadow palette of the year was the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette, of course. Just take a look in here. You know, it has those beautiful warm colors. Like, they were just so beautiful, and it's just so many warm palettes came out this year. None of them were quite like the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. The colors were creamy, were blendable. I never really saw what the hype was behind Anastasia until this palette came out. And it's just like, it's so many different warm colors, and this is almost what I wanted the Sweet Peach palette to be. Not that I don't really like the Sweet Peach palette, but I was kind of expecting something with like a little more warmer tones and peach tones, whereas that didn't have as many. And yeah, I just really love this palette from the year. It's one of my best friend. Her name's Jane. My pimple chain. Staying on the Anastasia train, the Glow Kit in Gleam. This was limited edition, so that really stinks, and I hate putting stuff like limited edition in it. However, I did use it a lot this year, so I really enjoyed the colors Starburst and Crushed Pearl. They were beautiful. Like, look at Crushed Pearl. It just don't get any better than that. It just don't get any better than that. So this was definitely the highlighter I reached for the most this year, and I was grabbing towards it. This puppy right here. Next was something that came into my life in the last kind of quarter of the year, and it's the Coty Airspun powder. This was definitely my favorite powder of the year, and I know I'm probably doing like the weirdest order, but I'm just picking stuff up and talking about it as I go. But even though I'm super dry skinned, I can't really I bake kind of, like not well, but I do bake with this, and I do love it for that reason. But I also love it like in the morning when I'm getting ready to go to work, I will literally powder my whole face and then brush it off, and it kind of gives me just this like porcelain doll effect on my face that I really enjoy. So that's another thing I enjoyed for the year. Next is a bronzer. You guys know I love this bronzer. This was like a super hyped up bronzer all year, and not to feel like, oh my god, me first, but I feel like I was one of the first people to put a video almost up about it being a drugstore gem at the beginning of the year, even though everybody else and their mother put a video about it this year. But I literally just saw it at the drugstore, and I was like, huh, that looks really interesting. And it's the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I bought this on a whim, absolutely loved it. And then after I made a video about it, and then like some of the bigger YouTubers started to notice how awesome this was, it just took off everywhere on YouTube. And for good reason. This is the darkest it is, so it's not a very dark bronzer, but it's not shimmer, but it's also not matte. Don't mind my fingernails. I chew them to a pulp because I have anxiety problems. So it's just the most beautiful, subtle, like the most perfect fair skin bronzer. Like, you can barely even see it there, but it just adds the most perfect touch of warmth to your face, especially as such a pale girl, and it smells like coconut and pina coladas. I want to be on an island right now just sniffing this mofo. Some lashes I loved this year were the Kiss Trio lashes. They come with short and medium, and these are a lot more natural looking than a full band of lashes, but a lot easier to work with than individual lashes who start to look spidery and spiky. I am so happy I found these. I used them for an engagement shoot. I used them on myself. I'm wearing them right now, and even though like my eyes don't look the greatest because it's kind of dark while I was getting ready, I really liked it. I really like these. I think they are like a perfect medium between the individuals and between the full bands. When I think of perfume, and I think of my smell, and I think of everything I smelled like in the year 2016, I definitely think that Lancome's La Vie Belle is the perfect one for me. This one's a little more mature, but it's not too mature. It's sweet, but it's a little bit spicy and deep at the same time without being like girly sweet. That's what I like about it. It's like a spicier vanilla scent that is for a more mature girl, I feel like. And I really do love it. I love sweet perfumes, and this is sweet and spicy and everything nice. When I look back on foundations for the year, I think, you know, I really liked the Hourglass. I liked the Makeup Forever. I liked all these super expensive, way out of my budget foundations, because when I used to be the person who went to Sephora. It was like, I only want to get palettes and this, and now when I go to Sephora, it's more like I want to concentrate on what will make my face look the best. Foundations, primers, stuff like that. That's what I want to spend my money on, instead of a lot of like whimsical little things that I used to always spend my money on at Sephora. I want to find more of my base go-to everyday, I will use up products. That being said, my favorite foundation of the year has been my favorite foundation for the past couple years. And you guys might come as a shock to you, like it's been in a couple of favorites videos, but I never really talk about it. But it is my tried and true, no matter what. I wear it to work, I wear it out. It's the most amazing foundation. And it's just the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous 3-in-1 foundation. This is better than any high-end foundation I've ever tried, better than any drugstore foundation I tried. I will gladly purchase this over and over again. This is probably my 6th bottle of this. And I feel like they do last a long time. I'm in the lightest color, 805, which I believe is ivory. Yes, ivory. I have used this for probably 3 years now, and it's the foundation I'm wearing today. It's just always my go-to foundation. Especially when you're in a rush, you don't want to try something new, you know it looks good to wear to a wedding when you know it's going to be good. And you know, I love trying out a bunch of different foundations, but at the end of the day, when I want to be fast and I want to know what's going to look good and hold up for me, I'm going to go with my tried and true. And that's what I did for the year. It's just, it was my favorite for the year. Nothing blew it out of the water. Next is a contour palette. This is $4.99. The Wet n Wild Mega Glow contouring palette in Dolce de Leche. Wow. This was amazing. It's a little bit powdery, but it is the perfect contour shade. And these powders are so soft and so easy to blend. And I've never found anything better than this to contour, which sounds hilarious because this is $4.99 and I own a lot more expensive products to contour, but this was my favorite for the whole year. There's something about the super soft consistency it has that it's like an angel on your face, to put for bronzer, to put for just to contour. And like, especially with the contouring brush by Wet n Wild, they're like a match made in heaven. Next is something I kind of fell out of love with by the end of the year because it just kind of stopped working for me as much as it did before, but the Josie Maran Light Argan Oil. This was like my tried and true for my dry skin at the beginning of the year, but I feel like my skin gets used to things very fast. So this used to make my pimples clear up, everything clear up, and I'm kind of having skin issues again now, even though I'm not using this as much. Maybe I should just go back to just using this, but at the beginning and the summer, this was my end-all be-all moisturizer. Mix it with my makeup. Everything about it was amazing to me. It's kind of oily, so I gotta put it down because it's getting oil all over my fingers. My absolute favorite concealer of the year was also another YouTube fave, and it is the MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Yes, this pumps out a lot at one time. However, this is very full coverage without looking super cakey on your face. And it's a liquid, not in a pot. I tend to see that potted concealers really cake up on my skin, and I just thought that this was awesome for under my eyes, for blemish control, for redness control, that this was pretty awesome. And I'm not like the biggest advocate of MAC products. Like, I love the brand as a whole, but I feel like a lot of times their stuff can be a little bit overhyped. But this was definitely not overhyped. This was my favorite concealer of the year. I can't believe I only have one favorite lip product in here this year, but I thought I had more. Like the Maybelline matte lipsticks are definitely some of my faves, but my favorite lip products, these were my favorite lip products last year and of this year, are the Maybelline Color Blur by Lip Studio Lippies. Now, I have all the colors and I've purchased them over and over again because I lose them because I'm always putting them in my purse and everything. These are just the perfect pencil formula. You're supposed to blur them out. I never do. It's just the mattes are so creamy. These look so good. They're so long wearing. They're so comfortable. They're so precise to put on your lips that I just can't find anything that beats them. When I want to be fast, they have a good color for everything. They have an orange, a bright red, a deep red, a plum, a nude, a mauve. They just have every single color I've ever wanted. Fuchsia, everything. And I wish I would come out with more colors. I think there's like a total of like 10 or 8 colors. But I just have not found anything to top these. They're like such a hidden gem of the drugstore, and I'm such an advocate for them. Like the color blur thing, that's such a gimmick, but the product as a matte lipstick is superb. I just can't praise these enough. These are my end-all be-all lip products. Like I will carry these into my grave. Now, my favorite blush of the year died a horrible death, but I traveled all around the country wearing it, and I wore it like all year, and it is a NYX blush. It's so disgusting because I traveled everywhere with it, but that is the color. It's in the color Amber. I mean, I am too afraid to open this now and swatch it. I'm gonna buy a new one, which makes me really sad because I was like kind of getting close to pan, and I didn't even drop this. It just kind of crumbled in my drawer, but I have traveled everywhere with it, and it is such a beautiful muted mauve that it's like a little bit pinky coral too. It's just, I feel like this would look good on every single skin tone, every single person. It's just amazing. And it's one of their HD blushes. It's so cute. It has a little bow on it and it's cheap. You can't beat it. A huge discovery for me of the year that was one of my favorite of all time. Of all time. And it is by the brand ColourPop, and it is their metallic eyeshadows. I haven't tried many of their mattes. I've had a couple satins and they're okay. Oh my god, these metallic eyeshadows are bae. I am obsessed. Like, look at how beautiful that is. These are just absolutely stunning. You barely have to touch them, and they are the most gorgeous things I have ever seen. Like, oh my goodness. I'm wearing actually one of them on my eyes right now, and it kind of looks kind of ghetto, but you know, that's life. This is Walgreens. But this is the color, one of my favorites. It's Weenie. It was a Kathleen Lights collection. Like, look at how beautiful this rose gold is. It is absolutely stunning. Like, oh my god. And you barely even have to swatch them. Yee. And it's just like, yes, yes, slay. I was just having such an issue with eyeshadows popping on my lid, and it was making me so mad. And then I discovered these ColourPop metallic eyeshadows, and the rest is history. My favorite mascara of the year was actually a change. It was not my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. It is the Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. This is like, it's kind of like the Better Than Sex, but even better than the Better Than Sex. There's just something about it that makes my lashes so long and voluminous, and I absolutely adore it. It's just fabulous. This was awesome. It really came in clinch to destroy out my Better Than Sex, which I do love, but this was just something I reached for more this year than I did my Better Than Sex. And go Stila. Because I am in no order, my favorite primer of the year was the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Smoothing Primer. This is just so soft. It's like a baby's butt. Ugh. And it just, ugh. I will eat you for love. But this is an amazing primer. It's kind of pricey. It's kind of expensive. I would say it's worth it, but I hate spending money. But this is definitely an awesome, awesome primer. It smooths out your skin. It makes it feel softer. It makes my foundation go on softer. And YouTube made me buy it, and I'm glad YouTube made me buy it. My tried and true every single year is the same eyeliner, and it's just because it is $1.99. It is so black, and it is so matte, and it stays all day. I never have a problem with it, and it's just my NYC liquid eyeliner. This has a cult following that I feel like is kind of falling off the bandwagon a little bit. It shouldn't. This is amazing. I'm so glad. Like, I can buy like a million, and it's like $1. It's $1.99, and it's just the best eyeliner I've tried. I just had so many problems with eyeliner pens being too dry. This is a brush tip eyeliner. Sometimes the brushes that stinks definitely vary a lot from tube to tube, but it's a little brush tip eyeliner, and it's just like, look at that. And it dries so matte, and it stays forever. And I just haven't found anything to beat it, especially because of the price. It is just a gem, an absolute gem. Such a random favorite, and this was limited edition and it was by Wet n Wild, and it's actually an eyeshadow trio in the New Romantics, and I'm going to tell you why this is my favorite. So random, right? This is what it looks like. It was from their spring collection of 2016, and this brow bone color is the most amazing inner corner highlight. Of course I don't have it on right now, but just one swipe of your finger and that's what you have. It is the most amazing inner corner highlight, I will put it right there, that I have found to date. I put that in a really awkward spot, so I will put a different one. Put that there. It's just beautiful. Like, can you see it? It's on both ends. There it is. Oh my god, it's just so bright. All right, you know what? Whatever. And I don't even really use these two colors, but that white color is bae when it comes to inner corner highlights, and that is what I like, and I love you. If you haven't noticed, I'm kind of been losing my voice lately, so I sound like a freak. So I'm trying to sing like I usually sing, and it's just not coming out the way it used to because I'm losing my voice. I know you guys who follow me faithfully, and if you're just clicking on this video, you're probably like, this girl's eyebrows are absolutely cray. She has no business talking about makeup to us whatsoever. I just have uneven, weirdly coarse but long eyebrow hairs. Like, I cannot, like, if I pluck out an eyebrow hair, I have a gap in it. They're like so long and so weird, and one faces down but one's kind of further up. I just can't get them to look like, I have tried a million times to make my Instagram brows, but I have just accepted that I'm never having Instagram brows because mine are just long coarse hairs, and that's my eyebrows. That's my life. And there's nothing I can do about it, and there's no way I can make them look amazing. So the best thing I use is my Maybelline Brow Precise Micro Crayon Pencil. Now this reminds me of the Anastasia brow pencil. It's nice and thin, it has a great spoolie on the end, and I think I used the color Taupe. And here's the thing is I tried the NYX one and that was way too dry for me. What I like about this one is, if you notice, is it actually shows up. Like, I know I'm like drawing on myself, but the NYX one I feel like I have to like color, like it's like a colored pencil consistency. I can't get it to make any mark on my face without having to like really fuck up and brow up and mess up my eyebrows. So I'm like, and I moved the camera, I'm attractive, I know, and I just feel like this was the best one, and it wasn't like $9 million, and I go through these pretty fast, which is why I don't like using the Anastasia ones, because I feel like this is even more creamy than that, and it's not $700,000. Then I have two tools, and one of my absolute favorites, it's actually, I actually bought it off Amazon in like $19 set, and it's like these rose gold brushes, and it's just the paddle brush. I just washed it like a couple weeks ago. Not a couple weeks ago, like a couple days ago, so it's like soft again. But just to use this for foundation, besides my Real Technique sponge, which I love, this was just awesome and groundbreaking and cool, and it looks like it's gonna snap. Oh, I probably did just snap it at any time. I was just about to say, but it doesn't, but maybe it does. Swoopsie. Oh well, I can super glue it like I do with everything. So I did really love this, and I got the whole set for $19.99 instead of like $3 million like the on-brand one. Get the off-brand ones. But I like the big poofy ones. I don't really know what to do with the eye ones or like the smaller ones, but the big one is definitely real nice. Last but not least, the Luxie 221 brush was just my bae this year. I actually got it in an Ipsy bag, and I'm so thankful that I did because it's gorgeous. I love it. What I love it for, which I didn't use it for today. So somewhere in here, my camera decided to just stop recording. So happy 2017! No, just kidding. You're not missing much. This was my last fave, the Luxie Brush 221. Obsessed. Love it! That's basically all I have to say. It's a multi-use brush that you can use for anything. Fixing eyeliner, lipstick, absolutely anything, eyebrows, and that's why I love it. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I can't wait to have a fun 2017 together. So let's do this, guys. This is gonna be our year. I feel it in my bones. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Can't wait to have a fun year with you. And yeah, have a great night. Thanks you. Bye. My hair is so annoying. It's everywhere.